Hi everybody, thanks for joining me. We're in the middle of January and I'm already going to talk about February activities, but I know a lot of you like to work on lesson plans and think about things, so I'm going to share some things that I did in my classroom a long time ago. So first, Groundhog Day, which is February 2nd, and I have a little book that you can download, and it's called Groundhog Day. You can actually sing it, but I think it works better if you just read it. February 2nd is Groundhog Day. Gather round his hole to hear what he'll say. Will spring be early or late this year? Watch and listen to what you'll hear. If he sticks his head out on a sunny day, his shadow will frighten him and he will say, I'll go back in my hole and go back to sleep. You'll have winter for 6 more weeks. But if he sticks his head out on a cloudy day, he's not frightened, so he will say, I think I'll stay out and weather should be clear. Spring will be here early this year. Now, this might be a good time to talk about what a myth is, and is this really true, and will it really happen if he sees his shadow? Will we have more winter, or if he doesn't see a shadow, will we have an early spring? Now, I always like to make these little groundhog puppets too. You can download a picture of a groundhog, or be even better if you let the children draw their own. And if you just punch a hole in the bottom of the cup, then they can take the groundhog down and they can bring him back up. And another good thing to do with this little groundhog puppet is some of your positional words. Can you put him under your chin? Can you put him beside your head? Can you make him go over your head? So all of those positional words that we want to work on, you can do with the groundhog. And then you could also just put him in a different position and let the children describe where is the groundhog, and use those words and sentences as you place the groundhog in different areas. I have a little groundhog game. Now, I play this all year long. I just use different little things. So right around Groundhog Day, I would have a little groundhog. In March, I might have a little leprechaun that hides. In December, I might have a little elf that hides. So it would vary with the month. And then whatever skill we wanted to work on, I would put the skills on like index cards. And so it could be letters, it could be words, it could be shapes or colors. It could be numerals, anything. I mean, I could play this game with very young children. I could play it with older children as well. But this was a real quick game that I could put these little cards in the pocket chart, and then the children would hide their eyes, and I would take the little groundhog and put him behind one of the cards, and they would have to say, like, I think the groundhog is behind the word must, and then they would look behind the word must. And if they found the groundhog, they could hide him. If they didn't find the groundhog, then the children continued to take turns saying words or whatever, and then looking behind that card to look for the leprechaun. They loved it. I mean, it's such a simple game, but they absolutely loved it. Now, if you don't have a pocket chart, you can play this on the floor. Have the kids sit in a circle, or at your small group reading table, you could let them sit there, play the game the same way. Now, some things go in and out of style, but candy hearts never go out of style. So there are so many things you can do with candy hearts. You can estimate how many in the bag. You can count them. You can sort them. You can make a pattern with them. You can add them, subtract them, read the words on them. You can even eat them. Some of you are in schools where you're not allowed to have candy or food, and so you can make paper candy hearts, okay? So like this game, I traced around my heart, and I just put different things that you might find on a conversation heart. And the cool thing about a lot of these things, it's like text talk, you know? And so then the children, I made more other hearts, and they would take the paper hearts and then match them up to the heart on the file folder game. Now, I've got words here for kindergarten, but if you work with younger children, you could do a color matching game. You could let them match upper and lowercase letters. For the older kids, you could make a game where they match up answers with addition or subtraction facts. Lots of different things that you can do with this game. Another thing that you can do with paper conversation hearts is you can do a writing activity. And I just cut out hearts, and it would even be good to let children trace around them, cut them out, hole punch them, and then they can make up their own conversation hearts. They can write people they love and then string them on a necklace. And I did this with one of my grandkids' class, and the kids loved it. I mean, they were writing and cutting and doing all sorts of skills, but they were having so much fun they didn't realize it. Another game my students used to love to play was concentration. And you know, every class is different. One year I had a group of kids, they'd rather play play a memory game than go outside on the playground. And so that year for Valentine's Day, I made them each a memory game with Valentine stickers. But you can get these stickers at the store, and you know how to play memory. Put 2 on each one and lay them down, face down, and the children turn over 2 at a time and try to match them up. It's a good visual discrimination game. Now, something else that's fun to do is to take Play-Doh, and you can make your own Play-Doh. And this time of year, I used to just make plain Play-Doh, whatever your favorite recipe is. Don't put food coloring in it. And then give children dry cocoa, and they knead the dry cocoa into the Play-Doh, and the Play-Doh looks brown and it smells like chocolate. Now, some of you might work with younger children, and that might not be a good idea because they would eat the Play-Doh. But then another cool activity to do with Play-Doh is if you have a little box of candy, empty box of candy, they can make their own little candies, and they can put them in the sections in the little candy box. So this is a good reason to go ahead and buy a box of candy and eat them, and then you'll have a learning activity for your classroom. A game that my kids used to love, and you know what, the world keeps changing, but children still love these simple little things. So this, we called it special delivery, and you just get a little cloth bag, or you can get a grocery bag. Everything works fine. And then you take envelopes and write the children's names on envelopes. For the younger children, just their first name. Older children, first and last name. And you put these in the bag, all of the envelopes in the bag, and they sit in a circle. And one child at a time takes the bag, and they skip around the room. And I used to model these things, and so I would be the first one. The mailman's on his way. The mailman's on his way. He's bringing lots of Valentines. I hope he comes my way. And then I would choose one, and I would read the name, and I would deliver the Valentine to that child. Then that child got to take the bag and skip around the room. The mailman's on his way. The mailman's on his way. He's bringing lots of Valentines. I hope he comes my way. So they took turns selecting a Valentine and then delivering it to a friend. And it was really nice because everybody got a turn. Everybody got a turn. And I know mailman is a sexist term, and I tried to, the mail carrier's on her way or his way. It's kind of hard to fit in, but you can change it to the mail lady's on her way. She's bringing lots of Valentines. I hope she comes my way. So make it work for you. We used to make this little mouse bookmark. The kids enjoyed this. I found if my kids made a bookmark, they were a little bit more interested in reading a book. And so this is just a heart shape folded in half. And you have to glue a little tail, a little yarn or string tail in here, and then his little ears, a little Valentine too, and just a little eye and nose. And you've got a bookmark, and you stick this part in, and the little mouse hangs out over the book, reminding you where you need to start again. This is something that I love, and it's a good way to tie in some of your standards with geometry and making different shapes. So I always gave my kids this Valentine. I cut out a square, and I cut out a circle, and I cut the circle in half, and we could talk about a square, and this was a circle, and now we've got two, so they're semicircles. And then just give them these and see if they can turn these into a heart shape. And they'll struggle, and they'll struggle and struggle. And finally, one person will figure it out, and then the others will look, and they will follow suit too. So it's an easy way to turn a heart and a square into a Valentine. And I often, when you see heart-shaped cakes, this is how you can make a heart-shaped cake with a square cake pan and a circle cake pan, and then just cut them in half, and you have your Valentine. I've got a little finger play for you. This one, I've got little cookies. But you could also do this with cupcakes. You could do this with Valentines. So I'll sing you the little cookie song right now. And these are just little cookies I made out of felt. And my flannel board, of course, is just a file folder with felt glued to the front. Down around the corner at the bakery shop, 5 little cupcakes with 5 little cookies with sprinkles on top. Along came Peter with a penny one day. He bought a cookie and he ate it right away. So the children give you the penny and then they take away the cookie. And how many cookies are up here now? 4. And how many got eaten? 1. So it's a good way to develop that concept of 5 as you remove the different cookies and the children match 1 to 1. You could also do, like I said, with the Valentines. Down around the corner at the card shop, 5 pretty Valentines with glitter on top. Along came Jeremy with $1 one day. He bought a Valentine and he took it away. So you'll see what I do. I take something real simple and I milk it for all it's worth every holiday and every season. And you can do it too. For writing, this is a good writing activity, Love Is. You could do a language experience, Love Is, and they each dictate a sentence. You can also give them blank books and let them make a blank book, Love Is. Got a few ideas for things children can make for their parents. One, you trace around their foot and you give them red tissue paper and let them put it on for like the toenails. And this says, I love you from my head down to my toes. Now, it's not particularly creative, but it is a good craft. And I tell you what, the parents will love it. You can also do this little box, and you can just get styrofoam, or I had some little old empty boxes with, like, you know, they were tattoos for Christmas. I used that for this. And let the children make their own wrapping paper and wrap it up, and you have to tie a ribbon on it. And then you send it home with this little poem. Here is a little gift that you can never see. The reason it's so special, it's just for you from me. Whenever you are lonely or even feeling blue, you only have to hold this box and know I think of you. Please never unwrap it and leave the ribbon tied. Just hold the box close to your heart. It's filled with love inside. Oh, somebody's going to just melt when they get this. I have a little pointer. I love to make pointers for all seasons. And how simple is this? A stick with a sticker, a Valentine sticker on it, and they can use it to read words they love or to read different holiday seasonal poems. I've got a couple little books here too. A few more little books that you can download off my website. Will you be my Valentine, my Valentine, my Valentine? Will you be my Valentine? I'll be yours if you'll be mine. Some are red, some are blue, some have lace and ribbons too. Some are funny, some are not. I like the candy ones a lot. Will you be my Valentine, my Valentine, my Valentine? Will you be my Valentine? I'll be yours if you'll be mine. And then that first song, I'm bringing home a Valentine for you, some baby bumblebee. But I love to teach the children how to make hearts with their fingers. I'm bringing home a Valentine for you. One that says, I love you. I'm bringing home a Valentine for you with a great big hug and a two. And, oh, I have to do King Kong. This one they love. So, show me King Kong. King Kong was just a teeny tiny monkey compared to my love for you. King Kong was just a teeny tiny monkey compared to my love for you. I love you day and night. My love is out of sight. King Kong was just a teeny tiny monkey compared to my love for you. And that exaggeration, King Kong. I mean, the more you exaggerate, the more they love it. I was at several schools in Charleston last week, and I did that. And the kids eat it up. They eat it up. Here's a little cut and tell story. This one, and by the way, all of these things are on my blog. I'm getting ready to go out of town. I'm going to be in Oakland, California, and Las Vegas, woohoo, and Salt Lake City, and then I'm doing the Wisconsin Head Start. So I've got blogs coming up every day for the next 2 weeks with all of these ideas that you can do. So this one, and I use children's names in when I do these stories, so I'll just use Erica's name. One day, Erica decided she wanted to make some Valentines for her friends. So she went and got some red paper, and she cut out a Valentine, and it looked like this. Yeah, that's a little too big. I don't want that one. So she got her scissors, and she cut again, and she cut out another heart, and she went, I don't like that one either. And she got her scissors, and she cut out another heart, and she went, nah, I don't like that one either. Let me try again. And she cut out another heart. Still not satisfied. So she cut out another heart. And, oh no, she only had one little tiny heart. But she looked down at the floor, and she goes, oh, look, here's a heart. I could give this one to Josh. And here's a heart. I can give this one to Maria. And here's a heart. I can give this one to Tan. And here's a heart. I could give this one to Allie. And look, here's a great big heart I can give just to you. Now, just a few more things for Abraham Lincoln's birthday, and then I will say goodbye to you. I have a book that you can download. Abraham Lincoln, past president, loved and honored by many. To help us remember this famous man, we put his face on a penny. Hold a penny in your hand, and his face you'll see. He always tried to tell the truth, honest Abe to me. And this is a good time to have children sort different pennies and talk about the different things on the back of the different pennies and what they represent. I've got it on my blog, when he was born in a log cabin, when he was growing up in Indiana, and some other symbols in his life. And then this is a real fun home school activity. You get a sentence strip and write the year the children were born and the subsequent years. And this would be something you would want to give them several weeks before you needed them to do this activity, or maybe a week, because it's going to take them a little bit longer to find all of these pennies. Because what they do is, with their parents' help, they try to find a penny for each year that they were born and put it on the timeline. And the parents have really enjoyed doing this activity with the children. One thing you have to remind them, do not glue pennies. You can tape them, but we don't want to glue pennies because that's like defacing the penny. So that's an important thing. Well, I hope you have a month full of love. It's just such a special time of year. And when I think back on my teaching memories, some of my favorite memories are of the Valentine party. And they would open these little Valentines and look, Joshua gave me a Mickey Mouse or whatever. They were just thrilled with those little envelopes. So treasure this special time with children. We're so busy trying to give children things we didn't have that we're failing to give them what we did have. I think Valentine's Day, just the sweetness of talking about love and making Valentines and sharing them with all of our friends, everybody gets one. That's just a really good feeling and a really good memory that you can put in children's hearts. So take care. God bless. Thanks for joining me. Have a great month.